Cult raid
So the cult
continues.
that I escaped that was in the paper last weekend is now in the paper again this weekend. I've heard from inside that the ATO is still raiding their headquarters, UBT, and this week they have covered in the paper, Lucy Macken and Michael Batchelard have done an excellent article on what it really is, the hypocrisy that is the Hales family, or the leadership family, the family that the leader is a part of, and how hypocritical it is versus just the regular members like my family. For example, my family lived in an area, Windsor, which is like northwest Sydney, sort of out in the outskirts, and there's a river that runs through the town, and everyone had to move from one side of the river to the other due to the flooding, and then eventually everyone got kicked out of the area because, well, there was long story short, a feud between the people that started the church here and the current leader's dead dad. Essentially, they moved because of some dead guy didn't want them here. Anyway, back to the hypocrisy here that I'm pointing up is that certain people were told to move around and sell their place because it's lifestyle and it's too lavish, yet the leader's sons and family are allowed to buy mansions. One I know in Currajong, which is on the side of the river where they were told to move from, and areas, around where they were told to move out of because it was too lifestyle. I mean, I've read the book Animal Farm, and nothing rings truer that all animals are equal, just some animals are more equal than others. And in this case, that is the Hales family. Another thing I want to show you is that the article covers, which I think is really important to note if you work for a cult business or a Plymouth Brethren Christian Church or Exclusive Brethren family business, in particular UBT, this story covers. You'll see here in the article, which I hear this all the time, and obviously as a gay man growing up in this cult, I experienced the homophobia, but in particular the oppression to women. So here it covers, a third employer said that the community members, the Brethren, all wore blue shirts, and non-Brethren employees, one came to work one day wearing a pink shirt, and a senior executive, being a Brethren, called him a fairy little faggot. Homosexuality is unacceptable, and in some gay members of the church have in the past been prescribed drugs to chemically castrate them. That wasn't me, but I knew it was an option, and they told me that it didn't work on the other people, so they weren't going to do it to me. So essentially, they would have had they thought it worked. But the only reason it didn't work is because this person went to Current Affair and said, look, I'm gay, but they gave me drugs that you normally are prescribing to sex offenders. And lastly, you've got, again, this is not unfamiliar. I hear this a lot, saying that the UBT or the Brethren businesses are found as toxic and highly controlling, tightly surveilled workplace rife with sexism, bullying and racism. Add to that ageism and homophobia. And you got here further on, it says the surveillance was everywhere. There were cameras on every floor, above every workstation, near exits, entry points. Another said he'd been called into a meeting and criticised for something he'd said in private conversation, which was relayed back to him word for word. So if you're looking for a job and UBT comes up, have a little read through this article. The thing which is important to note is the free consumption of alcohol by Brethren members. It was a problem across the church, and where women were treated as second-class citizens. I know somebody I used to work with, and she said, she was a non-community member, she said to me, I was always made to do the coffee run because I was the woman. And she said it just, and also made to wear skirts because obviously, women aren't allowed to wear pants because that would be assuming the role of the men, and you can't do that. And women are treated like second-class citizens. They are oppressed. And well, for me being gay, that's like way down further on the ladder.